Hello, active traders, and welcome to Breakout Mastery. This is Ken Calhoun, your host, broadcasting live straight out of Colorado Springs in the good old U.S. of A. here on January 13th, 2015. I wanted to thank the hundreds of you who've registered and are here tonight. It's great to see a big turnout. We're going to be looking at current market charts for updated breakout trading strategies, as well as tell you a little bit more about my Breakout Mastery Premium Ongoing Webinar Series, which is the best-selling of my coaching programs, and we've had hundreds of people register. It's great to see so many of you here. As always, all information is for educational use only. No advice about to buy, sell, or hold is being provided. By watching this, you're not to make actual trades. No profitability or performance claims are being made. If you have any questions about breakout trading, let me know, and I will answer those for you tonight. Your goal is to make as much money as possible with your winning trades. My goal is to help you get there as quickly as possible with what I'm going to show you in Breakout Mastery 2015. You may have seen me in the Traders Expo presentations the last 15 years in Vegas. You may have seen me in Stocks and Commodities publishing for many, many years on breakout trading. I'm one of the industry's top experts in breakouts for both day trading and swing trading. And you may want to learn from me. I often do my live Las Vegas seminars, and it's great to see big turnouts for those as well. See, virtually all of my articles and real trade examples are from winning breakouts. So let's start off by taking a quick look at who this is designed to help. And it's for both, who are we talking to here? Mostly it's as good for you if you are a day or swing trader, and I cover multiple markets. Mainly we start off with stock swing trades, but we also dive into our ETFs, Forex, and E-minis for both intraday and swings. And we cover both basic, core, and advanced tactics. Most of what I cover in Breakout Mastery is advanced that I haven't covered anywhere else. One of the goals, too, is to keep a focus on profit and loss to help you improve your breakout entries and exits. So, for example, I can't stand looking at PowerPoints for more than a few minutes at a time. I'm a trader. Give me a chart. So what the heck are you talking about, Calhoun? Okay, here's a chart I sent out to you guys at email today, DFT. One of the things that I'm going to teach you tonight is a good basic core strategy for using average true range as a lead indicator for doing breakout trades. Now, one of the things that you may have seen me cover in other events or other training is how to use the ADX indicator. And that's a good indicator, but oftentimes you can catch earlier breakouts that are even stronger using an average true range indicator on the uptick or going up on an increase in a very specific pattern that I'll teach you about later tonight. But using that to help you identify early breakout momentum runners as they're starting to lift up into new highs is one strategy that a good experienced trader, from one guy to another is something that I can teach you about tonight. And we're going to be taking a look at that strategy as well. For example, average true range, a quick tip. Average true range is going to go up when the average true range of that instrument is increasing or expanding. And why we care about that is that tells you that institutional buyers are coming in with much more volume and volatility than is typical for that instrument. And this is just a good kind of momentum indicator of what's going on in that instrument. So as you might expect, here's a quick rider downer. As visually, if you want to do it the hard way, what I do, and I've done this for years, is I like to buy new highs, as I published in the November Stocks and Commodities magazine, at new high breakouts following a wide range candle at the right side of a bullish cup. And that usually produces a nice winning breakout. Okay. The other tip, to look for is when is the range of the candles getting larger and larger. See, for example, here we had all these little flat melted candles. Now they're starting to get healthier. And where is that best expressed? I used to teach MBA courses, so I don't do this. Anyway, it's best expressed in an increase in the average true range indicator. That tells you you've got new institutional breakout volume coming in. Any moron can buy a high. The trick is buy at a high that's likely to attract new buyers after you buy. Aha, that was it. Yeah, Calhoun, you got it right. Just say no. No to trying to trade pivots or inside congestions. What you want to do is trade new high breakouts that are at an inflection point that's most likely to attract new buyers after you put on your trade. And that's the type of thing that I teach you how to do throughout Breakout Mastery. And we're going to come back to the ATR indicator in just a few minutes. But that's a quick jump into today's real chart so you can see what I'm talking about for this course. Now you can quote me on this. Mastering breakout trades is one of the top 2 skills that a trader can possess. Money management's obviously the most important. Mastering your breakout trades correctly. Scanning, identifying entries and exits, identifying when to stay out, when to jump in, and critically how to avoid false breakouts. You know, we've all been there, right? If you raise your hand, if you've ever bought something that sure enough looked like it was going to go up, and then as soon as you bought it, it's so the trading gods had it in for you, and boom, it went down against you and took out a big stop loss. That's really frustrating. It really pisses me off as a trader. So I spent the last 15 years doing millions of dollars of trades trying to figure out the difference between breakouts and fakeouts and breakout patterns that are most likely to work out. And so avoiding false breakouts on your pursuit to making profitable trades is one of the most important and critical skills that traders must know in order to trade successfully. Because otherwise you get stopped out all the time. You buy what sure enough looked like a new high breakout, went against you, you took a stop. That's a sad day. So you don't want to do that. One of the things that I like to teach you throughout Breakout Mastery is we combine this with position sizing and scaling. My 30% rule, and for those of you who've been with me for many years, you've probably heard this. I haven't mentioned it in about 6 months, so might as well trot it out again. One of the things that you need to learn how to do as a professional trader is how to make money like I did, kind of the hard way. I mean, admittedly, and this is after commissions with the $1 commissions, interactive brokers, but how to make money being right only 30% of the time. That's what I call my 30% rule, and it's just simply by virtue of keeping itty-bitty tiny stops when you're wrong and scaling into winners when you're right. Your goal is to still be able to squeeze a net profit out of the street each week or each day or whatever time interval you trade, being right no more than 30% of the time. Now, if you talk to any of my institutional guys or any of the institutional floor traders on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or the market makers, they don't care about being right, 55 or 60 or 70% of the time. Most of them are not. Most of them make their money. All it counts is your realized P&L. How much are you up at the end of each day, each trading session? And what you want to do is figure out how to be right such that you can be right and throw darts at the market all day long and only get it right a third of the time and still waltz out of market, pa-ching, with some money in your pocket. And that's what we're trying to do. Now, let me ask, before we keep going, how many of you are day traders and you scalp like I do, or how many of you also like to do larger size, couple thousand shares, swing at large swing trades like I like to do as well, right? I mean, it's nice to make $3,700 in a day with 2 trades. I'll tell you that from experience. I did it. Or make $600 the hard way, scalping with itty-bitty trades. Type in the word day, swing, or both if you would right now to let me know what type of trader you are, and that'll help me adjust the content of what I cover in terms of live charts tonight for you guys, because I'm not going to spend too much more time on PowerPoints. I'm a trader. I want to get back to the charts. Well, thanks for typing in. I appreciate that. Stan, Mukesh, Vlad, Neil, Lee, Cage, Perry, James, Barry, Jay, Theodore, Greg, Mike, Omi, George, Long, Ted, Phil, Robert, Leland, Joe, Jeannie. Hey, a lot of familiar faces. Good to see you all here. Hey, Jeannie, how you doing? And Carl, hey, good to see you. And Mira. We have a lot of both. Most of you look like both. Some swing, mostly swings, but it looks like we're both in swing. So very few only day trade. Many of you do swing trades as well. Well, let me tell you something about Breakout Mastery Immersion training. What I want to do is give you answers. So you'll get answers about how to trade breakouts with better entries, better timing, and the strongest possible breakout trades. You look at it, both as it serves as kind of an alert service type of thing, but the main thing is to go in depth into the specific mechanics where we kind of deconstruct or tear apart the charts and give you the types of patterns that you can memorize and learn how to trade on your own throughout the entire year. And the goal is to help shape your trading so that you gain those, what I call a trader's eyes or trader's pattern recognition skills. It's like a colleague, Harry Boxer, is saying. He's a great guy to learn from too. He's just got a new book out. We count on patterns that repeat all the time. That's why they call us pattern traders, pattern day traders, pattern swing traders. The goal is for you to learn price action breakout trading and to create a personal action plan that works best for you this year by working together with me each month. We look at charts of your choice. So you can say, hey, Ken, can you pull up whatever chart? We'll pull that up. Interactive chart breakout training, and also what I call trader postmortems. If you have a trade that went sideways or you took a stop on, a lot of times I encourage traders to, and you can do this every single session, is bring it to the Breakout Mastery event that month, and you could say, hey, Ken, can you pull up, United Airlines that took a stop on a breakout, or I tried to trade, Solar City on a breakout, or I tried to trade the dollar CAD on a breakout, or the E-mini on a breakout, and I took a stop. What could I have done differently? And I like to help you. We'll pull up the chart together and go over it, and I'll give you my 2 cents, and you can get tips from other traders as well. So that's something I add to or build into each of the Breakout Mastery sessions. I'm going to jump back into the charts momentarily because I just can't stand to look at PowerPoints too long. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of PowerPoints. They're kind of a necessary evil because they explain what I want to cover, but I like to look at the charts because I'm a trader. Anyway, what you'll learn how to trade in Breakout Mastery: how to avoid false breakouts, sequential breakout trading, first trade, second trade, third trade, how to drill down for breakouts, transforming an entry strategy into something that makes sense, so that you're taking a much more intelligent, thoughtful, strategic approach before you drill down in the tactics of where to pull the trigger, how to exit before good trades go bad. So for example, how to avoid false breakouts. We're going to take a look at some charts right now. One of the things that I go over, this is kind of the Cliff Notes version, the false breakout. You have to have price filters above current highs before you consider putting on a trade. So one of the things that I encourage you to look for are strategies where you've got 35, maybe 50 cents above previous day's highs, 50 cents above a 15-day high for a swing trade. For Forex, 30 to 40 pips above the current 7 or 10 or 12-day high E-minis, and it's all dynamic. It changes based on the market. Okay, so for example, if I'm looking at a new high breakout in something like, let's say, Amba Pharma, right? It has a shooting star at a major, well, not a major, but a signal at a 14 moving average line here. So obviously we can't trade it there. Inconceivable. To quote The Princess Bride, one of my favorite movies, but I digress. As you wish. We've got a bullish cup breakout with a nice wide range candle at the right side. Aha! Calhoun's wide range candle at the right side of a cup. Triumphs again, runs up a few points, but puts on the brakes here with a shooting star. Learn more about candlesticks from my longtime colleague Steve Nissen at www.candlecharts.com. But anyway, learn breakouts from me. One of the things I'm going to do is, what I teach you in Breakout Mastery is we use things like the average true range to develop entry patterns, say, for the right side of the chart, as well as teach you what to look for and how this breakout worked out so well. Right? We have a congestion box down here. Anyway, let me move it up just a bit. We have a congestion box down here. I'm trying to draw at the top of this candle. And we have a major cup pattern here with a wide range candle. Now, as the average true range increases, and I teach you how to do this, I'm just giving you a quick thumbnail sketch, but as the average true range increases and starts to slope up, you want to start putting together a trading plan for when this thing finally escapes its congestion region. And that's very important. It's kind of turning up the heat on your stove, right? The water's getting hotter and hotter. The average true ranges are getting larger and larger, right? So that tells you institutional buying is coming into this instrument. Now, I don't have volume on this chart in the interest of not making it too cluttered, but you'd see large volume as it starts to break new highs. And one of the things, heck, volume's always a smart thing to add to any chart. You see volume here increase as it breaks to new highs. And then we get the punch with the gap up and a continuation run that ran up 6 points. Now those are the type of advanced signals that I like to cover, and I use this advanced chart format. Normally my charts are white background, as you've seen if you've followed me the last 15 years, but in Breakout Mastery, because I want you to see the nuances of these crossovers even better, so they pop out visually, we use black background charts. And this is the only place in the world where I use these. I do not put these in my money show presentations, in my trading industry articles, in my free videos, in my Saturday week ahead events, and anything except Breakout Mastery. And it's an exclusive way to learn how to not only get in on the earlier breakouts, but how to scale in on secondary breakouts after wide range candle hits and strikes at the right side of a bullish cup. So that's an especially good pattern that I thought I would run by you, just for your review and your approval and consideration for you to take a look at this. This thing's starting to build some heat, right? Increase in ATR. You should be trying to figure out, well, okay, Ken, where do I buy? Well, As long as it's still in just a basic channel, I don't care about it. Personally, I don't like channels. I use horizontal support resistance along with candlesticks. So with the bearish upper shadow there, although the heat is on, which is a pretty good song from the 1980s. The heat is on. Anyway, the heat's on, this thing's going up, but I digress. We got a bearish upper shadow here, so we stay clear of this. What I like to do, and I do this with ADX trading too, is I will add 50 cents to the high of the current trading range before I get in. So that would put us in at what, 78.10, which would be here. So if you put a buy stop order in on a swing trade, that would be activated 4 days later, 5 days later. So you got to be patient. And I teach you how to develop a process to do this a little more automatically, so it can work out for you with a very easy step-by-step sequential entry pattern that makes sense for you. So that's a good pattern I'm giving you right here just for free that you're welcome to go off and test on your own and say, hey, Calhoun's right, it works out most of the time. Hey, thanks, Ken. You know, all these hundreds of testimonials, there's a reason. Anyway, it's no BS, good price action breakouts that are the strongest, simplest, cleanest, most effective, good breakout pattern. So anyway, this thing's starting to build some heat. Okay, it's starting to go up. The ATR line is going up. I want you to just draw a horizontal line at the closest resistance area and resolve to not go long until it takes out 50 cents above the high. Now, what would happen if you were one of those unsuspecting traders that bought the first sign of a breakout? Just say no. Epic fail. That doesn't work. That's why I use a false breakout filter of, say, 50 cents above the high. So 73.40 plus 50 yields 90, so that gets you in right here, right near the 74. And that worked out fine and kept you out of all this chop and noise. That's exactly what I'm talking about specifically for avoiding false breakouts. Is as a trader, you always expect that with a bullish cup, there's going to be a handle. Looks like a coffee cup, eh? You've got a cup with the handle on the right side. Expect it's going to try and screw you around here and take your money. So kind of like a bad gold-digging woman you meet at a nightclub. Not that I've ever done that a few dozen times, but I digress. The point is, don't hate the player, hate the game, baby. You got a bearish, congestion region up here in the upper side, so you want to stay clear of that. And I use that arbitrarily, say 50 cents above the high. You can experiment with your own strategies, and we'll go over those together in Breakout Mastery during this upcoming year ahead. This false breakout filter changes depending on what? The broad market. If our market's in a downtrend continuation, you want to put a little larger safety buffer on the upside or filter to stay out of bad trades. If the market's in a strong downtrend, you want to be even more cautious on longs. And one of the things too that we cover in Breakout Mastery is the broad market sells down, we're going to be covering the short ETFs in a way I do nowhere else in the world. Our bear ETFs like UVXY. I'm currently long this, disclosure, because I'm a freaking genius. But anyway, UVXY, this is one of the bear ETFs that goes up when the broad market goes down. Identity, please. That's the ProShares Ultra VIX short-term futures. Anyway, UVXY, TVIX, VXX, these all go up when the market goes down. So how do you build a trading plan that's sensible, that makes sense, that scales you in? Let's say using a daily chart. Where's the first breakout signal in this chart? Well, we got early breakouts here above these two moving averages. That doesn't help me over here, Ken. Well, what do? Well, I'm going to be buying, and I have buy stop orders currently in place in my Fidelity and in my Interactive Brokers account to start buying up over this 32 major 200 moving average line. So recoveries above major moving averages often make for really good trade setups. And the reason I like that one is, if you look back a few years, this thing, and hard to see this on this chart, but the bear ETFs like FAZ and DXD and SDS, as the market has rallied, these things have sold off sharply, right? If and when the market sells off any minute now, or if it does sell off soon, one of the things at least I want to do, and I am trading, are these inverse ETFs to the upside. So I've got you covered. Even if the stock market sells off, no worries. We'll be covering the bear ETFs as well in Breakout Mastery. But the main thing to identify is these strongest charts that have good progressive entry triggers at new breakout points above previous highs. And when you look for signals like the ATR, kind of like a warm water getting to be hot in your shower or on your stovetop, that tells you got increasing volatility and heights of whole real bodies of candles are getting larger on high volume as it's taking out new highs. So that's the type of pattern that really makes sense to look for. Here's another good example of VTR. And I did a webinar for Money Show recently where I was telling everyone about this 3 volume bar breakout strategy. And we'll be covering more on that in Breakout Mastery as well. But basically, if you have a sequence of 3 increasing volume bars and you have accompanied by wide whole real body candles, that usually makes for a good long trade setup up at new highs. And that's the type of, this is the type of instrument that makes sense to trade because it behaves itself and goes up most of the time. And it also has very easy breakout entry trigger points once you know what to look for. Okay, so there's that. There's also things that you want to look at. Another basic strategy point on how to avoid false breakouts. This is just a quick introduction. But you want to look at things like time of day, day of week, and the market opens. So for example, today we had strong moves in our solar stocks, as well as we've had recent strength in pharmaceutical and biotech stocks, as well as gold miners were up this morning. Anyway, with strength in sectors, you want to make sure that you know where those sectors are. Where's a move that you put in after a strong average true range has been extended? And how do you get in after a strong average directional index breakout? Okay, there's a lot to cover that you'll be learning about in Breakout Mastery. There's many advanced strategies, things like depth of recent cups and candles, the length of a single major run before a pullback, and how to use those price projections to develop not only your initial entry and initial stop, but your secondary entry to scale in for winning trades once they do start to produce some profit for you. How do you leverage that by adding the winning trades, and how do you set your entries and exits accordingly? What are some of the countermeasures for the market makers and specialist traps out there? And it's not what you might think. It's not something like some morons talk about, it's still using a level 2 or total view box. No, it's not that. It's all about price action. It's all about money flow and where the likely support and resistance-based trigger points are that make sense to get into your trade as well as to stay clear of. And so that's the kind of thing that you'll be learning from me in Breakout Mastery. Another strategy that we look at, for example, and here's just one of 4, how to size into your winning trades automatically. Everything from how to trade second chance breakouts to scanning for cash cup breakouts, trading what I call rising sun breakouts. It's a unique combination of candles and Western technicals on breakout continuations. And you'll be learning how that works as well. Now let me give you a quick example of, for those of you who are day traders as well, for example, here's 100% of all my alerts today in the live trading room. The greens are wins. The red was 1 stop. We had a break even, 1 win, and 1 stop in GoPro. The rest are all wins, right? Nailed it. Anyway, this is the E-mini. I told everybody to go long at 2040.75 this morning live, and that was recorded, and 2046.75, and we sold right near the 2048. So really good breakouts in the E-minis, as well as, anyone who followed it in the afternoon, we had 2024 as the first short and 2018 as secondary short. So I nailed the E-minis today for our traders who trade minis. For those who trade stocks, my favorite airline stock today was a breakout in American Airlines. I told everyone to go long at 50.8, right? That was my trigger point. And we sold into resistance right over the 51. That moved up nicely, okay? A pivot trade that I nailed for everyone today, U.S. Steel, X the ticker. My live room call today was long 23.10, which nailed it. And again, I posted that long when this was down here and starting to bounce. I said, go long, guys, at 23.10, and we sold into the 23.40 region for a nice 30-cent run up there. So those are the type of, breakout patterns, whether it's pivot breakouts or sequential breakouts, like Solar City, one of the good, strong solar stocks today. My favorite pattern is a minor gap continuation. I called it long today for my live room members at trading open at 50.2 and 50.6. Nailed it. Boom. Okay. Anyway, those are my actual live calls today. Some of them didn't hit, right, which is par for the course. The ones that did hit, boom, virtually all wins with 2 stops and like 11 wins. So really good percentage. One of the things that I teach you in Breakout Mastery is how to do this on your own. How do you set up those triggers so that you've got these patterns that make sense? And as you're looking for breakouts, let's say you're looking at recent gappers like Solar Power today, SPWR. I like this one because it gapped up today. Now it's got a shooting star up at the top, so obviously we don't want to buy it until it continues on up. There's a shooting star and a hammer, so it's all conflicted. It doesn't know what the heck it wants to do. My money would be to go long at new highs if and when it takes those out. How do you set up a trading plan to capitalize on that? And those are the type of things that I cover for you. Here's another one, Lululemon. Minor gap continuations are my favorite breakout pattern. We go into a lot of depth in how to trade gaps as part of an overall sequential, intelligent, professional breakout trading strategy in my Breakout Mastery course. And the reason is it's so important. You got minor gaps that attract new buyers, minor gaps attracted new buyers again, minor gap that attracted even 2, 3 more points worth of buyers. This thing's on fire. Lululemon, really nice breakout. We still don't want to buy it right here. See, a new trader might buy 64.50. But we know better. We want to do at least 30 to 50 cents above the high for a swing or a day trade because we expect it's going to try and do a false breakout, a handle at the right side of a cup over here, and a screw us if we try to get in, pull the trigger too early and go right back down against us. So we want to patiently sit on the sidelines like a sniper and then slowly squeeze off that round once it pokes its head up, pulls back, and then continues. And then we'll look at how to develop a trading plan for that. So those type of patterns are the things you want to look at. And use things like the average true range indicator to help you decide whether or not it's worth trading in the first place. How do we do that? Well, as you can see, you've got an increase in the ATR here that was occurring during this cup pullback. So this just kind of puts it on your watch list as a trader. You know, it's a good intelligent approach. What you want to do is figure out, okay, which of these things are getting hotter with an ATR that's starting to go up? And then how do I start trading the right side of the chart once it breaks resistance and continues? And that's a very good, simple core strategy that you can start testing out as my gift to you tonight, that I'm just teaching you how to trade, right? I'm teaching you actually how to trade with some good how to do it tonight, at least the basic overview of the things. Now, there's a lot more to it than that. You know, there's things like, you know, how do you develop a specific trading plan based on an extended moving average crossover. The problem with crossovers is frequently they cross around, the crossover dinks around up and down above and below this like a DNA helix, and you don't know what the heck to do with it. Well, one of the things you want to do is look for good angle and separation, a nice separated price action that holds its own above the moving average line, pulls back to support, and then, you know, who would have known? Boom, we're off to the races, and it takes out new highs. Those are the type of things that you want to take as a thinking trader's approach. And again, there's no magic software that does your thinking for you. In Breakout Mastery, I teach you how to identify these gap spaces so that you can then put on a trade that gets you into something that actually moves. And those are the type of charts you want to look for. Here's a good example, and again, I use a 14 moving average crossover exclusively as part of Breakout Mastery. I don't teach this anywhere else in the world. I only teach. And now we also, you know, of course, I also focus on things like using the average directional index, the ADX indicator, to identify good breakouts and the rest of it. But sometimes you're not going to get a good ADX signal, so because it's going sideways, even though the price action's taken off like a son of a gun, right? This thing's going from 50 to 80, a 30-point running kite. Hey, that kite's catching a breeze, and it's right over Central Park, and I'm trying to race to catch it. Then I bump into the woman of my dreams. And then I ask her out for coffee. And then I've got an active imagination. Anyway, kite's taking off to new highs. What the heck is he talking about? We got, bada boom. Anyway, thought I had to play the game. Kite's taking off to new highs. So we've got a buy signal with the ATR earlier, you know, even if you missed out on this. And that's the thing. A lot of traders, you know, you guys will say, well, hey, it already ran up. It's stick a fork in it, it's done. Not so fast there, Sparky. This thing is on a run. We've got a nice breakout continuation. It ran from 75 to 85. 10 points of profit opportunity there. Did you ride it up? Did you trade it? Or did you just sit on the sidelines as this thing consolidated? Developing a trading plan based on breakout strategies that make sense, that are consistent, is really important. And one of the things I like to teach you is how to do that. For example, let's say we have a downtrend and something is finally coming back to life. It's making a bullish cup, has a minor gap. Okay, it's on the radar. How do you develop a trading plan to buy it, say, over 67 at some point in the future? Well, there's some strategies that are available to you, not only using this moving average crossover, but also using the ATR on the right side of the chart to help you price project out where to set your entry, how to develop your trade, and how to get in on a breakout as it continues on up to new highs. And I teach you how to do that in Breakout Mastery. It's good stuff, right? It's good, professional, honest, accurate, with good integrity and authenticity from a real breakout trader. That's what I do for a living. I trade breakouts. I buy high and sell higher. That's what I do. I play in the upper right side of the charts. I buy up in the top right and I sell to someone else at the higher top right. That's what I do for a living. Anyway, scanning for these different plays is something that really helps. Now we look at everything from new breakout trading strategies, how to improve your entries and exits with professional training, what I call pullback profits. That's how to drill down for breakouts and things as they're pulling back and bouncing. Traders get in trouble because they get too excited and overtrade pullbacks and uptrends. And oftentimes you'll find that pullbacks and uptrends are your worst enemy and they cause many stops. Am I right? I'm a fan of waiting until there's strength, but there are certain circumstances in which you can purchase pullbacks in an uptrend that makes sense. And I teach you how to do that in Breakout Mastery, how to drill down for those patterns and how to instantly be able to see for yourself whether or not that breakout, that pullback's likely to continue on in a breakout, or if that was it and it's going to keep drifting down. The difference, the contrast between those types of charts is absolutely, vital for you to learn the difference, right? Because you want to trade not only new high breakouts, but those that are continuing on up in a way that are likely to keep going on up after you get into the trade. Something I call motherlode breakouts or money talks, transforming your entry strategy. We've got a whole new strategy set up for how to trade that strategy, and I'll show you the bullet points for that in a minute, as well as reversal, what I call exit triggers. Okay. And I've got that in here somewhere. Yeah, avoiding false breakouts. Let's take a quick look at the curriculum for this upcoming year ahead. I'm not going to take a lot of time on this, and I'm definitely not going to read all this stuff. I'll let you guys read on the site. But basically, starting in just a couple of weeks, on January 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern, so be sure to register before the 28th if you want me to have time to get you access to the first of our sessions, like tonight or this weekend or whenever would be a good time. January, we do volume momentum breakout training. In February, look at breakout turnaround trades. And this is a new innovative strategy, what I call micro turnaround breakout patterns for trading. And we also do Q&A and live interactive quiz charts. We do debriefing sessions. We do test your knowledge charts. You can bring charts and we can go over them together in front of everyone. It's a really good team environment for you to learn in a safe learning environment with a good, thoughtful, an hour worth of content, and I go through all the best breakout charts and describe how to use a new strategy. You get a new strategy each month. We go over details in terms of how to manage your entries and exits using that strategy, how to develop a specific trading plan using that unique strategy that's covered in that month's Breakout Mastery session. And then I open it up for a whole hour worth of Q&A. So if you have questions, it doesn't have to be about that particular night's topic. Anything at all you want to ask about trading as it relates to breakouts, you can ask during that hour-long session. And so we do the first training during the 8 to 9 p.m. and then I'll stick around for up to a whole hour to answer any questions you have. Getting access to me, I'm the world's top or one of the world's top experts in breakout trading at a fraction of the price that my marketing guy says I should charge is one of the chief benefits. Not only advanced breakout tactics that you learn, but access to do Q&A with me for an hour each month, right, with the other traders there. That's a very good kind of a mastermind group for breakout trading so that you can figure out how to get your questions answered for how to trade breakouts. As my colleague Brian Tracy would say, oftentimes, you may be just one skill away from being successful at whatever you're trying to accomplish. And I found that to be the case in coaching thousands of traders the last 15 years. Oftentimes it's these minor adjustments or just okay, that's what I need to do, fixes to your trading approach that can really make a big difference. So that's something that I encourage you to get involved in. This is the last 6 months of the year, July, August, September, October, November, December. And we meet the third Wednesday of every month, except this month, January. I'm pushing that out a week to January 28th. And November, December, I pull those in a week so that it doesn't conflict with the Traders Expo when I speak in Vegas or Halloween, or Thanksgiving or Christmas. So but generally we meet the third Wednesday night of each month, and I do record these. and Blu-ray quality, not the crappy videos you see a lot of the educators use that are low resolution, impossible to look at. I don't know about you. I'll be 51 on Monday, the 19th. So I'm getting older. The older I get, the more I like to see nice, clear charts. So you get Blu-ray quality, 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution WMV video downloads of each of these sessions, including all the Q&A that was discussed by all of us throughout each of those sessions. So really good team environment, and I'm pricing this at a lot lower than I should, as we all know, as you compare me to other people that aren't as good as me, charging a lot more. So anyway, it's a really good opportunity to learn breakouts. I'm the go-to guy for how to trade these things. Now let's take a look at some other charts. What are some of the patterns that we want to look at for? And let me know if any questions too. I'd be happy to answer. What are some of the patterns that make sense? Well, one of the first things to keep you out of trouble as a trader is make sure that you are trading instruments that are worth trading, like AMBA. Pharmaceuticals have been hot lately, as have the solar stocks. There's a joke in there somewhere. Minor gap continuation. Okay, so Calhoun teaches us these breakouts. They work out most of the time. That's good. But now what do we do? I mean, the breakout would have worked out. Now how do we trade the right side? And looking for clues with not only our moving average, whether using a 50 MA or tighter moving average on a shorter time interval chart, really helps give you clues in terms of how to develop a breakout plan to trade the upper right side of the chart. Notice too, please, who can tell me, why is it a really stupid idea to trade cheap stocks? I mean, cheap stocks are cheap for a reason, okay, kind of like what O'Neill would say in his book from back in the day. But what are the main reasons it's really stupid to trade $5 stocks? Why do morons trade those things and get killed and blow up their trading accounts? Not to insult you guys, but I'll just say less intelligent people. Why do less intelligent people trade penny stocks and cheap stocks? Because they look cheap. Yeah, that's good. And no, if you're going to make money as a trader, and that's why we trade, right? We trade to make money. You need to trade instruments that have a sustained uptrend that doesn't screw you on a major pullback and isn't zigzagged by function of some phony baloney chat room operator trying to artificially pump and dump the price because it only has 100,000 shares afloat, and they can tell 100 moron followers, hey, buy it now, after they bought it, so they front run their members, and artificially spikes up, leaving you and the other traders, the bag holders who bought up. And meanwhile, the chat room operator made a fortune telling everyone, buy that or short that penny stock or buy that cheap-ass stock at $5.30. It ran up to $5.50. Well, if you traded 30,000 shares, you could have made some money. Stupid, right? You guys know better than that. Wise up. Make sure that if you're trading for money, if you're trying to trade profitably for a living or for side income, you are trading instruments that have a reasonably good chance of making you some money. Things that will actually run for quite a few points in a row before they stall out. Now, typically, I like instruments between $20 and $70 a share. Lately, we've gotten some of these a little richer than $70, but generally, you want to trade instruments that trade over $20 and less than $70, $80 a share, so that you get decent leverage for your dollars, but you're also getting good breakout continuation patterns that are likely to keep going after you buy that instrument. So that's another important, even if it means you're only trading 10 shares, who cares? I do a lot of small share trading, odd lot, small size trading. That's my favorite way to go, because then I can play a wider field. If I'd rather trade 20 instruments at 10 shares each than one instrument at 200 shares each. Does that make sense? That's really vitally important that you get that if you're going to make it as a trader in this business. You're much better, served throwing 20 darts at the market and the strongest charts you can find, only 10 shares each. Expect half of them are going to stop out or not go anywhere. The other half, maybe of those, half of them are going to move up a little and then stop out and not go anywhere. But the last third, those are going to be the ones that actually run, and those are the ones you scale into. That's how you make it as a trader. Not throwing Hail Mary passes at, oh, my magic green arrow, red arrow software shed to go long. Sure, I'll buy 200 shares or 1,000 shares. And then, next thing you know, you're $600 in the red trying to explain to your wife why you took a big stop. Am I right? We've all been there, done that. Let's stop that this year. New Year's resolution, start trading like a professional. Make sure that you're breaking your trades up into smaller bits and you're trading a wider palette of instruments that are actually likely to run for you and move up. And as part of our Breakout Mastery series, we cover things at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 a share. So that you got those instruments in your hip pocket to learn from that actually have a shot at moving. right? So when they do run, it'll run quite a few points. And that's something that I encourage you to give some thought to. Or if you're a, let me find my Forex trader. For example, I like using the average directional index, Wilder's ADX. When it moves up, following the move up, just like using, now you can't use ATRs on Forex, by the way, as cleanly. They're not as clean an instrument. So one of the things, I've been using this for stock charts. Back to Forex charts, you can see here, this is our Forex 22-day chart. You can see the ADX spikes up over 30, over 40, yielding a buy signal, not in that day, because odds are you're not going to be in front of your monitor as that thing's running up. But no harm, no foul. You just go in, say, 30 pips above that next day's high, right? And then that puts you into a trade that works out. So that lead indicator, that correlation between an ADX moving up in both stocks, ETFs, as well as our currency pairs, really makes for good breakout opportunities. And I teach you how to do that throughout the Breakout Mastery course, right? And you have my word. This is very good, sincere, authentic. Learn from a real trader, guy who proves he trades. It's me talking to you about the whole thing. Got a few bonuses thrown in there for good measure. But it's a really good, valuable strategy session. And it's only, what is it, $6.95. Normally I sell this all year long at $12.95, but once a year, every January, I put it on sale, and it's the only time I put it on sale in the year, all the way down here at $6.95. And this is a really good opportunity to get on board with this because you'll learn with me in each month's session. Plus, if you can't make one or something, that's always going to be there for you in the download area for you to right-click, File, Save As, and you've got the entire video. So let me know if any questions on Breakout Mastery. I'd certainly like to see you as one of my members. I hopefully, with my real trade examples and all the testimonials, and you can see hundreds of trader comments. These are real trader comments on the site that I've posted there over the years. You know, you can, and I answered a lot of them too. That's, my answers are in gray. But you know, it's my most popular ongoing coaching series, and you have my word, it's well worth it. If you can learn how to make just, and again, I'm famous and well known. I should be charging a lot more than I do. Most people at my fame level in this industry are charging, the standard, it seems to be $19.97 or some $2,000. Really expensive. I don't charge that. This is only $6.95 for the year ahead once you register by the 28th. I actually should have made that the 27th because the first session is the 28th. So if you want to get in on the session on the 28th, register by the 27th. Otherwise, I'll still send you access, and you'll get to download the session we did on the 28th, plus access for the entire year ahead so that you can learn how to trade breakouts. So, and also, too, I got a 3 easy payment plan. I know those have been more requested this last couple of years, so if you want to do 3 monthlies at $247, you can do that. Or you can save $50 and just do $6.95. And again, if you just make 1, 2, or 3 good trades or whatever, you can potentially more than pay for that. It's a lot like getting access to a full 2-day seminar worth of hours of training with me, but instead of it all being in one, Las Vegas 2-day event, it's broken up into monthly webinars for the entire year ahead. So that way we can adapt to changing market conditions and update the charts and the examples and the strategies designed to help you make better trades. So good stuff. A question from Chris, do I short stocks too? Yeah, all the time for day trades, but I do not like to swing trade short. I like to swing trade those bear or inverse ETFs, and I am currently swing trading those long, but I don't like to swing trade short just because of the risk of an overnight gap against me. I don't want to have a 12-point gap because of a buyout offer because I was short something that had been going down at the time, and you wake up the next morning and a 12-point gap against you. Never been there, never gonna be there. I like to sleep well at night, so I don't like to short overnight. That's just me, but unlimited risk to the upside isn't something that makes me sleep well. I like things that have much better risk reward to the upside. Like Lululemon, this is a really nice chart, right? It's gone up, it's congested for a while, finally starting to lift. And if we take a closer look at it, you can see the early breakout indicator clue was here in the average true range. So I hope I've trained you on how to use the ATR correctly, as well. It's a benefit for being here with me tonight. I always want to give you something that's genuinely useful. I always tell, and I always ask traders, and I asked at the expo, and everybody, all the hands shot up in agreement. I said, how many of you agree before you buy anything from an educator, they better give you some free content that actually teaches you how to do something that actually works, that's valuable. Another arrow in your quiver, or bullet in your clip, or whatever you want to call it, something that actually works. So I gave you a strategy tonight that I think can serve you well, and test it out over the next few days ahead. You'll say, oh yeah, Calhoun's right. It pretty much works out. Let me learn more. And again, this is just one of many, many strategies. We cover dozens of different tips in Breakout Mastery. But the ATR early lead indicator, set up a buy stop order at new highs as it's increasing, is one that you can take to the bank and start using immediately. So I'd certainly encourage you to give that some thought. So again, let's quickly go through the curriculum. Here is what you'll be learning this year ahead. Volume, momentum, breakout. Again, you have my word. This is very sincere, very authentic. I'm the world's top expert, or one of them, and breakout training is seen in CBS Market Watch, TheStreet.com, Active Trader Magazine, Stocks and Commodities Magazine, Money Show, Traders Expos, all that stuff the last 15 years, plus all the video testimonials from all the traders I've helped. And I really want to help you. This is really, how to say, the bargain piece of this is that you're getting Q&A access to me, where I, in a relaxed, friendly, safe learning environment, good, honest, guy trying to teach you and share with you what he's learned over the years environment, I will answer questions. I'm not some prima donna. I don't have some huge ego. I don't think there's any stupid questions. I used to teach MBA courses for University of Phoenix, and I've trained thousands of people when I ran a consulting business back in the day for quality management, big companies around the world like Sheraton and Chevron and others. And anyway, one of the things that I want to share with you is that you are open, and I'm certainly open and encouraged to bring intelligent, thoughtful questions to the Breakout Mastery sessions for the entire year. And I can't answer emails individually because I got hundreds of you and just one of me. So I ask you to save your questions for the monthly events and then ask them. Or if you can't make it live, you can send me a support ticket and ask me to answer the question, and then I will answer it, and you'll see the video with the answer of it later even. So let's try and go above and beyond answering you guys' questions. So if you have any questions about breakouts throughout the year, this is a really good strategy session where you learn dozens of new tactics and advanced strategies that I don't cover anywhere else. Like anyway, I was thinking of how to explain this. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the concept of Venn diagrams, where there's overlapping circles. The bad educators, they pretty much teach the whole thing and they just repackage it to look differently. Those of us who are world-class educators, we make the circles as little overlap as possible. So yeah, I always like buying new highs and scaling in and trading small from the beginning. That's going to be the same. That's kind of the limit of the overlap, but everything else is new and it's unique, and it's things that I don't teach anywhere else, so that you get a lot of value out of the course. That's why I have so many people that renew year over year. And again, it's a one-year membership and it ends automatically at the end of the year. But if you do want to renew for another year, I give you a discounted rate, which a lot of you do. And for those of you who are listening, you know how well and how thoughtful my Breakout Mastery training has been the last 4 years. If any of you are returning and want to continue on this year, and I know I've already had renewals come in already this past week. If any of you are on the fence and haven't yet done so, I certainly encourage you to contact me. So go ahead and register your spot now at Breakout Mastery. You kind of have a choice, Join me, learn with the pro. You can go it alone if you want, or you can go with some other people. That's always up to you. I'm not going to tell you what's best for you, but I'm a genuine expert in breakout trading, as world recognized in Stocks and Commodities, Active Trader, the Money Show Expos, Equities.com articles I've published for years, and my own proof of real trades I've made over the years. So I do cut the price in half once a year. This is it. It's open for another week or two until the 28th. So you do have, 2 weeks, I guess, 13, about 2 weeks to decide. So, but Breakout Mastery is good. And just remember, public service announcement for active traders, choose who to learn from carefully in the industry. Make sure that, like I do, they prove they're real traders with ample P&Ls, which is important. Make sure they have video testimonials from their satisfied traders, which I have dozens of, which are rare to see. You don't see those very often in the industry. And also make sure that they're widely published and well-known, like I am as well. How many years have they been in business? Check that stuff out. What's their reputation? What are their street creds? Do they have what it takes? That's kind of the trust tripod. Can a vendor prove with brokerage P&L that they're even a real trader, like I do? Do they have video testimonials, like I have? How long have they been widely published and well-respected as an expert in the industry for many years, like I have, or not for those? And the more of those proof elements you have in place, the more you might want to extend trust to a potential coach or educator, somebody to learn from. So anyway, that kind of answers or covers everything I wanted to teach you all for Breakout Mastery. I hope that that ATR extension pattern is something that serves you well. Test it out. I mean, honestly, go and test it out. Put me to the test. I gave you a good free stat. Now again, so what am I saying? I'm saying ATR has to increase over 2 to 3 sequential days. You put a buy stop order in at 50 cents above the high of a stock priced between $20 and $70 a share. Don't go be using this with a 30-cent stock or any crap like that, or any $200 high flyer or Tesla or Amazon or anything. But these nice, like pharmaceuticals or solars or any of the recent breakout gold miner stocks or whatever that's moving up to a new 15-day high, put it to the test for yourself over the next week and test it out. And I'm confident you'll come back and say, yeah, it's mostly right. It works most of the time. How do I learn more? And again, that's just one of the kind of like the small Phillips screwdriver out of the whole. I don't know about you, but I like the old Craftsman tools back in the old days, back when they were actually made in America. Don't get me started about made in America. I like American craftsmanship. Like Craftsman tools I just gave you, or 9/16-inch wrench, like I used to work on my car back in the day. Anyway, I gave you one of many tools. We cover many more throughout Breakout Mastery. And, you have my sincere word. This is my best training on breakouts. And we go into in-depth, detailed, step-by-step, plus Q&A with me, that alone is worth a multiple of the price of access. In fact, my marketing guy said I should offer 2 different versions of this, one with and without Q&A. The one with Q&A I should charge double for. I have a premium platinum version, and I said, no, let's just keep it inexpensive and affordable for everybody and let me give them everything I can. So I'll be here for you 12 times this entire year for a full hour to do Q&A with you guys, plus give you new strategies illustrated with current market charts. And we go over about a dozen, maybe 15 charts of the very best charts, and we go in depth into each of the strategies for how to use those. Another good one, by the way, I didn't have time to really cover it, give it time to cover tonight, but one of the patterns that I invented that I trade myself is what I call acceleration ramps. And it's a very good pattern that I discovered because of how well it works out. It's one of the, and then I invented, called it acceleration ramps. What you do is you have an uptrending channel, maybe 25, 30 degrees of arc, that then goes into a nice 45-degree angle breakout, kind of like a hockey stick. That acceleration ramp tells you you've got kind of a quickening of new volume coming into that instrument. So you still don't buy it here, but you wait for new highs, but still that's a good precedent setup. And again, I want to give you all these early trigger patterns that you can start testing out in your own trades to see just how well they work. Right? So for example, in Kite, here's a good example of another acceleration ramp. Notice, and you just kind of eyeball it and draw the line there. There's no, don't be anal about it, and I got to be a CMT and connect the exact dots and no. Price action, professional mechanics of the trade. That's all you got to know. Price action trading with the best candlestick and Western technical breakouts combined together to give you a series of entries and exits that work out most of the time. So you got a steady slope that then escalates into a larger slope of line. Now you don't want to trade breakouts that do, like a 45-degree angle and it shoots straight up. Don't buy that. That'd be stupid because they'll likely pull right back down again. Those are weak breakouts. You don't want sideways choppy things that then pop their head up above new high. Moron plays too. What you want is something that has a proven history of, say, 5 to 7 days of uptrend continuation, then at least 2 to 3 more days that have an even sharper slope of line, the nice steady 40, 45, 50-degree angle breakout, preferably on higher volume down at the bottom of the chart. And I developed the visual pattern skills for you guys to learn how to do that on your own. So that's what we do in Breakout Mastery. And it's good. It's good, honest training. It's good. Roll up your sleeves. Again, it's for thinking people. It's not about, well, look at this magic indicator and it magically tells you how to trade, because that's fool's gold. And if you've been led down that path before, you know that doesn't work. What works is developing the visual pattern recognition, trade management, and timing skills so that you can manage your trades, entries, and exits correctly. So anyway, I'm the go-to guy in this industry for breakouts. You get a whole year with me for less than the cost of a couple of blown stops. It's on half price right now for the next couple of weeks. So I hope to see you this year in Breakout Mastery. And again, make sure you learn from guys like me who really prove we trade with P&Ls and the rest of it. So I hope I've earned your trust and given you a couple of tactics you can start testing out Whether or not you continue with me, I certainly hope you will, because I'll be able to answer all your questions and give you new strategies and updated tactics throughout the year for Breakout Mastery. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I will get the video of tonight's event up at the, I have to compress it and upload it and all that crap, but I'll get the replay video of tonight's event up above my face here, so it'll be up here at the very top of the Breakout Mastery site probably by tomorrow, almost certainly by tomorrow afternoon, so see you there. A good question from Dominic about looking at the ANVA chart. What do we got? Would I get in the trade right after the cup on the 7th? Yeah, I would, personally, I would wait. Yeah, not a trade recommendation, but ANVA Pharma, I would wait until above the nearest whole number above that high and setting those kind of safety buffer or sequential entries. So I wouldn't buy till, say, 64.30. That would be the earliest I would buy this thing, because it's likely to pull back and drift here, so we stay clear. Don't be the trader that says, ooh, it's coming back to life, I'll buy that there, because as my daughter would say, that story ends badly. It'll probably just chop around and keep dropping against you, so don't screw around with that. Make this year, 2015, the year you finally turn the corner. You know, I'm the industry's top recognized expert in breakout trades. Nobody has more presence in industry on breakouts than I do. I'm Ken Calhoun. I run Day Trading University, TradeMastery.com, SwingTradingUniversity.com. I work the stock trading success system with my colleague Steve Nissen, Forex Success Mastery with my colleague Peter Bain. I work with the best and the brightest out there, and I guarantee I'll give you my very best in-depth breakout training throughout this year ahead, and it's a bargain. So again, my consultant said it should be $19.97, maybe on sale at $14.95. Well, I said forget that. I know my traders, I want you guys to be able to afford this and make it a no-brainer decision. So it's just $6.95. You get my word, it's very good in-depth training. I got some bonuses here. Even give you guys a $100 gift certificate rebate, good towards any of my other stuff this year, if you want. So, and a breakout critique, and I'll even do an MP3 audio if you want, in addition to answering questions during each of the sessions. I'm really kind of pulling out all the stops here and giving you my very best breakout training. Well, good stuff. Oh, thanks. Hey, thanks, Jeannie, saying thank you for an excellent webinar on trading breakouts. I especially like it because it can be used in trading Forex also, right? I like the viewing of live breakouts shown on charts. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll hope to see you in Breakout Mastery. And again, this is a really good addition to, say, all of you may have bought the Stock Trading Success System or may be in my live Trading Open room or swing scans or whatever. This is where we go in depth into advanced breakout strategies that are easy to understand, they're relatively consistent, simple to apply. My whole goal with this is I want to give you patterns that you can instantly recognize on your own to use to make trading decisions. I want you to become successful pattern swing traders and pattern day traders if you day trade. I want you to be able to get the trader's eyes, mostly to avoid those kind of charts you shouldn't be trading in the first place that even I would likely get stopped out of and most professional traders would get stopped out of, and instead replace those with the types of charts and the type of patterns that work out more often than not. And that's the goal of Breakout Mastery. So let's see a question from Jay about does the ATR method work for day trading on a specific time frame? Yeah, what you want to do is, I'll go over this more, but whenever you see, and this works for ADX too, by the way, if you see an increase in ATR, that makes this a more likely candidate for a day trade after the run up, because that tells you you've got increasing trading ranges and wider candles of price action. I like at least 1.5 points or 2 for my day trades at least. So, if you're looking at something like, say, Kite, and you see an ATR increase, odds are it'll be good for an intraday trade as well after the increase in the ATR. But yeah, it's a smart question, and that's the correct answer too. When this goes up, it's like turning up the volume on an instrument or whatever, turn up the heat, turn up the volume, then that makes for overall a livelier instrument to be trading because the ATR, the average true range, is wider, so it makes it easier to trade within that for specific micro cut breakouts and ascending triangle breakouts and channel breakouts and the rest of it. So yeah, that's a smart question. And yeah, use that as kind of a heat indicator, like turning up the volume. Okay, let's get this party started. Now we can start playing around with this thing because it's got wider ranges in our targets, in our view. So yeah, smart question from Jay. Thanks. Hey, thanks, David. Appreciate it. Seeing good insights I'll consider. Question from DW, do you and how frequently do I share specific trade ideas? Well, every session we go over the best charts, and I will tell you, again, I don't make trade recommendations by law, but I will tell you personally I'd be buying it at, say, 81.80 in this one. Scale in, and another thing I didn't have time to cover tonight, but we also set scale in triggers. So if I buy, say, 64.50 in AMBA, I would buy it 2 points again, say first 100 shares at 64.5, another 100 up at 66.5. So we do not only initial entries every single session, but we also cover scale-in entries to position size as well. So yeah, good points. Thanks. Wow, so many of you are here. Oh, thanks. Hey, Kath is saying your birthday's the 18th and mine's the 19th. Yeah, it's a small world. Yeah, for Chris, yeah, classic Calhoun breakout, right. From Joe, it's 12 classes. We have one each month. And I do stick around for a whole hour afterwards, or up to an hour, depending on how many questions I get. If y'all are shy and don't ask questions, then we're over after the first hour. But I encourage and expect and would hope that you would have at least one question per session per trader, and that way we've got a full second hour. So that's up to a total of 24 hours of training with me, which is a real bargain for the price, right? And it's spread out over the entire year, so you get a whole year to practice and learn and bring your lessons learned, both your victories, your triumphs, as well as stops to the class, and let me know, and we can deconstruct those charts together and see what went right, what went wrong, how to improve the next time you're up at bat, and how to coach you for using the strategies more effectively the next time. A question from Phil, do I read news about a stock before I trade it? Never. From Sergey, is there a forum? No. Let's see, 14 EMA or SMA, the simple moving average from Lee. Good question. And yeah, James is asking, do I show what charts to go after? Yeah, every single month we have a quote box like this one. Usually I have more charts than this. I just kind of boiled it down to the best charts for you guys here tonight. But we have a new quote box with new tickers to go through every single month that illustrates the pattern that I'm trying to teach you. So that way, not only do you get actionable trade ideas and specific tickers and specific entry prices that I would be paper trading or testing out, but you also get the strategy in depth and Q&A time with me to make sure you get it, make sure you got it to go with it. So I like to be very conscientious and very specific and very detail-oriented. I used to be a corporate statistician for the Ford Motor Company, and I am a certified quality engineer. So I got a background in quantitative. I got multiple degrees, UCLA, Cal State Long Beach, a lot of years in industry and production and quality management. I'm a very numbers-oriented person, and I like to be very specific, which is where a lot of the trading education falls down. They just talk in generalities. You don't make money talking about generalities. You make your money by being right more often than not as a function of position sizing. So let me give you that page again here. You see any other questions? So breakoutmastery.com, I'm not putting any special secondary page up. I'm just going to keep it simple so we get even more people registered. Thanks to those of you who've been registering too this last few minutes. I appreciate it. I will give me a couple of days to get your logins and passwords to you. I'll automatically, by the way, for the first session, I'll automatically register you for the January 28th GoToWebinar event. So everyone who registers at Breakout Mastery, I will automatically manually enter your name and email address into GoToWebinar so that you automatically get notified. For the future events, just log into the members area at breakoutinsiders.com. And that's a membership site that's included with Breakout Mastery, where we have all of our video downloads. Again, from the last 2 months. I don't archive anything further back than 2 months, because otherwise people would wait until the end of the year to join and then download a whole bunch of, so I don't do that. I'm wise to that. So I just had the last 2 months of webinars archived in the members area with video downloads. We've got an upcoming webinar schedule, trading plan templates, and additional PDF resources. And you get your unique login and password. Usually it's your first name and your last initial. So if your name is Thomas Phillips, your login might be TOMPH or TOMP, and then I develop a specific unique password that I manually create, and then I enable your access to that. And that has the GoToWebinar link updated each month. Again, with your email is the one that will be approved, and you get access to Breakout Insiders website where we archive all the videos, right? And that's where this link goes to is Breakout Insiders /members. So, and I've got a single pay or a 3 easy pay plan. So, to make it convenient, if you want to do 3x247s, that's just one monthly payment, one payment a month for 3 months at 247, which I don't know what that adds up to, something like 741. Or if you want to save, $50, just register for the $695, and you're in for the whole year with me. That's a really good way to learn and answer, ask and answer, get answers to questions. Very good, specific, advanced strategies. This is my best-selling ongoing coaching series. I'm doing less and less evening webinar series, by the way, if you notice. My live room has been growing so much, I've been allocating more resources to that. And then I'm, just selling archived download versions of webinars I've done in the past, but I'm not doing that many evening webinars anymore just because my schedule's been swamped. As the company's grown, I've been getting more and more people in the live room and the swing scans and all that, so I'm doing less of these evening events, but this is the one and only one I'll be doing this year for an ongoing coaching series is Breakout Mastery. So really good opportunity to work with me. You have my word on it. I do a conscientious effort like I did tonight, right? I give you guys some actionable, intelligent, actually works most of the time strategies that you can start using. Oh, thanks, Perry. Saying very good webinar. Thanks. Hey, you're welcome, man. Oh, thanks, Linda. Saying, hi, Ken. I found you on the webinar last week and have been watching your videos. Wow, I've learned a lot in just a week. I plan on studying with you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you can always take a look at my YouTube channel for lots of like 80-plus free videos. It's over 100 hours of training or over 80 hours of training or whatever, I think. So let's see. Any other last questions? From Jay, let's see. Jay's asking, do the stocks I trade have to be within a certain float requirement like min and max? I like at least 1 million shares a day for volume, so that's what I use. I don't look at, say, open short interest or the net float on the instrument. I just like volume. I keep it simple. I like to trade things with at least 1 million shares a day volume. And I avoid news. Oh, hey, always saying UCLA Econ grad. Yeah. I was pre-med at UCLA until Organic Chem knocked me out. So I did not spend a lot of time at Boulter Hall. I ended up at Franz Hall a lot for the fellow Bruins out there. I miss UCLA. It was a great experience. It's my proudest achievement. Well, my proudest achievement is being a father, having a great daughter. But my second proudest achievement is having graduated UCLA back in 1986. I guess my third big achievement is holding on to my wife for 15 years, and we made it work, and it's been great. So that's been good. And, of course, building this business and reaching tens of thousands of people, kind of icing on the cake. So, a good question from Lee about the room. That's open to all. I mean, if you want to, again, it's all sold separately. It's a different service, but yeah, it's good for anyone. Let's see, from James, do I show Forex charts as well? Yeah, we do cover Forex. For example, I've been calling the dollar CAD long the last 3 weeks, and you can see it's ran up nicely. So we do cover that. I would say maybe 10 to 20% of the coverage is on Forex and E-minis. Usually about 80% of the coverage is stocks. You can extrapolate the patterns to use with Forex and E-minis, and certainly if you have a specific Forex or E-mini, any of the majors you want me to pull up, I can. These are the Forex charts we cover in Breakout Mastery. So whatever's strongest, we look to identify which of the charts are most likely to continue up. Like the dollar Swiss was my call earlier in my trading week ahead events the last 2 weeks, and that's a really nice uptrend continuation. The U.S. dollar to the Swiss franc and the dollar CAD are the two best up charts in Forex. That's another free tip there, but those are ones, at least I'm looking at buying up at new highs myself. So yeah, we do cover Forex in that as well. And yeah, from James, you have up until the 28th to register, but if you want to make it to the 28th session that night, register at least an hour beforehand so I've got time to get your GoToWebinar link to you. Oh, thanks, Perry. Appreciate that. Saying great webinar. Hey. And yeah, from Per asking, how about screening? Yeah, a lot of what we do is focused on developing those specific screening or scanning strategies or screening tactics designed to help you avoid false breakouts and get in on continuations. And I teach you visually what to look for with updated charts each and every month. So yeah, very much on screening and scanning is one of the core skills, because that is a big part of pattern recognition. So I teach you the patterns to go after, how to trade them intelligently and correctly, and what instruments are worth trading, right? So I give you kind of soup to nuts on how to trade breakouts. I'm the best guy in the industry to learn breakouts from. I do say so myself. I haven't seen anyone better. And I would, encourage you to give some, judge for yourself. Test out what I taught you tonight. Go test it out. I mean, I put it right out there on the line. I give you a couple of good strategies. Go and test them, and you'll say, oh yeah, he's right. They do work out most of the time. Let me learn more, right? And that's what the course is for. So you get many more hours of content with me. So good stuff. And yeah, Linda, I will post this at the top of the Breakout Master. I am still recording this, so I will be posting the replay of this at the top of the Breakout Mastery site. It'll be here. I'll push this video down, and the replay will be up here at the top, so you'll be able to see it likely by tomorrow afternoon, so it'll be there. All right, thanks so much. Hey, Stan, saying thanks. Your webinars are informative and educational as always. Appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Dominique, saying thanks, Ken. Excellent teachings. Yeah, appreciate it. And well, thank all of you for being here. I very sincerely want to give you, things that actually work at a reasonable price, at a, good professional quality level education and training based on, actual trades that I've actually made in real money trading accounts that actually make sense to trade, right? And go after those and be able to develop the skills so that you got the difference between good trades and everything else out there clearly identified in your mind's eye, so you can go after bigger winning trades more often. So thanks so much for being here. I do appreciate it. This is Ken Calhoun with Breakout Mastery. Go ahead and register. It's a hell of a deal. It's a good deal. I mean, you get main things. You get a whole year of, monthly webinars with, up to a whole hour of Q&A with me, where I'll stick around like I am tonight and answer questions for y'all and give you good, honest, specific, actionable answers. I'm a former corporate trainer, so I've got a really good adult learning theory interactive training background, as well as being a former MBA professor, running my own training and organizational consulting business. So I've got a lot of credentials, as well as proof that I'm a trader, as well as all the trading industry credentials, which is a unique combination you don't see anywhere out there, and especially not at the low pricing that I'm offering my things at. So try to reach a lot of people and make it trader friendly. And there's no upsells, no extras, no special indicators, nothing else you got to buy. So I'm not one of those guys that tries to tack on crap, because that's dishonest, I think. What you see is what you get. So I give you really good professional training for a whole year of monthly webinars, and you get to ask me questions for an hour at the end of each one, and I'll stick around and answer for you in a good, thoughtful, professional, friendly, non-combative, non-aggressive manner to give you a good, honest, straight answer that you can count on, right? At least based on the best of my experience in my own real trade. So anyway, I hope that helps. Well, thanks, Lee, saying you're a very good teacher. Hey, I appreciate it. I love teaching. I'm trying to make talk my daughter, she's in high school now, into becoming a teacher. I think that's a good profession. When you're out there trying to help people, improve, go from wherever they're at to wherever they want to be, kind of to borrow a phrase from Tony Robbins, who's a great guy. I like NLP or NAC, whatever you want to call it. I like associative learning and making instant differences and changes in people's lives and giving you stuff that actually works. It's easy to understand. It's not convoluted. It's not, I am the greatest egotistical crap like you see some people out there. It's not asking you to buy special indicators or subscriptions to indicators or any of that, or special software or any of that. What I teach, you can use this whether you're using eSignal, which is what I use, or NinjaTrader or NinjaTrader or TradeStation or Metastock or MT4 or whatever platform you're using. You can use these strategies, which is good, right? So it's platform independent. I don't care what charting software you use. I like eSignal and I recommend it, but the others are all good too. So you can adapt whatever I teach you to whatever charting software you're using as well. So no special software needed. Or you can use this with free charts, like at stockcharts.com. I like a lot. That's a really good site. Or bigcharts.com. So free charts, you can even use that with that. All right, I'm out. I will see you guys later. Thanks for being here. And I think that was about it. Hey, take care. Best wishes for great trades, and I will see you in Breakout Mastery. Give it some thought. Take a look at what I'm trying to teach you, and hopefully I've earned your trust. And I'm very honest, and very specific, very helpful, very methodical, step by step. This is what you do first. This is what you do second. This is the pattern to look for. This is how to trade it. Here's how to set up your entry. Here's how to trail your stop for your exit. Here's how to scale in. Here's the type of charts to trade and the ones to stay away from. the nuances of the breakout patterns to get in and the ones to stay away from and the rest of it. So I want to give you very step-by-step comprehensive training in exactly how to trade breakouts in Breakout Mastery. I'll see you there. Bye-bye, everyone.